Boomer ball. Get the branding right.
It's about to be some grown folks talking here, okay?
No representation is made that the quality of podcasting performed is greater than the quality of podcasting performed by other podcasters. Hey, everybody. It's Boomer Bob with the Boomer Bob Show. Yes, I'm still here. Been working on many other things with life, doing another project show that we don't know if it's going to work or not. It's called Rubberneckers. We don't call it Rubberneckers Podcast or show or any of that, just Rubberneckers. I think it's available at rubberneckerspod.com or something of that sort. Yeah, you'll find it. If you look for it, you'll find it. I'm just going to start out right now by playing a little video clip to get you caught up on what this might and might not be about.
When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air. But what is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory.
Yes, you guys. Former President Obama is all but confirming the existence of UFOs with greater maneuverability and speed than anything that exists in the U.S. military, and he says they must be taken seriously. His comments come days after a Navy fighter pilot revealed airmen have seen unknown aircraft off the Virginia coast every day for 2 years. And this comes ahead of an expected report from the Pentagon on unexplained sightings that one former official says will, quote, shock people. Okay, Juan, I have to start with you because you've been subjected to me talking to you about this for so long. You know I am all in. I love this so much. Even going back to Buzz Aldrin, who said the probability of extraterrestrial life is, quote, almost certain. Everything from naval fighter pilots to Avi Loeb and so many more. Tell me you're into.
Yeah, why not? It's so much fun. You know, I think that Americans love this story. This is a story that could bring us together. I mean, really, I don't care what your politics are. Everybody's interested. Everybody's fascinated by it. If there was ever a reason to build a wall, this is it. I mean, if there was ever a reason to go with,
wow, news alert.
President,
you know they come from space.
Yeah,
right?
President Reagan. Remember President Reagan's Star Wars program that was to defend us against countries that would fire missiles at the USA? Well, we could build now Star Wars to protect us against the aliens. So,
Space Force. Yeah. So that was Juan Williams of Fox News fame on the show Outnumbered, showing his enthusiasm. How this UFO stuff is going to bring us all together. The media, the CIA, the Pentagon, even Obama, everybody's talking about it. It's all going to unite us. Well, here's a little backstory. On December 27th of last year, then President Donald Trump signed a $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief bill that famously included the $600 stimulus checks. People were pissed because it wasn't $1,200. And as part of that almost 6,000-page bill, a committee comment was attached to the Annual Intelligence Authorization Act, which was rolled into that massive bill. And that committee comment included a rarely discussed section that gives the CIA, the Pentagon, the FBI, and other spy agencies 180 days to provide documents regarding unidentified flying objects. So, the internet decided that in June, there will be a massive dump of declassified UFO information. Everybody's just giddy about it. Now, let's put this into perspective. We went through an absolute shitty 2 years in this country. One side manufactures reasons to cancel the other side, uses their open-ended bank account funded by we the people, so that they can duke it out in the public eye. Looming impeachment trial desserts garnished with sprinkles of an incoming pandemic, a media system dialed into the support structure of our government agencies that work in tandem to promote the worst possible guidance, as if they are the experts in a global outbreak that they pushed into pandemic mode. All politicized to further divide both sides and create an even higher level of tension in a country already circling the drain with Rahm Emanuel syndrome in full effect. never let a good crisis go to waste. Each aspect of this outbreak, from the advised protection by our CDC, the WHO, and our media, why did they push so hard for Asian love? Hug an Asian person while advising us not to wear masks. To never embracing any form of therapeutic treatment or offering any advice on how our citizens can build their immune systems to help limit our chances of severe illness upon contracting this virus. To the immediate push for a vaccine. I mean, after the last few outbreaks we've been through where a vaccine was produced only to be quickly removed and destroyed after illness and deaths from the vaccine were higher than illness and deaths from getting the virus, to removing everyone's rights to go to work and collect rent from their tenants or open their businesses or even be outside after 6 p.m. via curfews and lockdowns. While large corporations and retail chains were allowed to make hundreds of billions of dollars during the lockdown mandates that literally forced small business out of business, ultimately robbing them of their life savings as well as their livelihood. But that wasn't enough. Every non-white person who met their demise while resisting arrest or assaulting an officer of the law became a martyr for civil rights and a monument to systemic racism. As the white news anchor reads the message of white people bad off the prompter, trillions of dollars in damage in the span of a couple months as city leaders forced the hand of local law enforcement back into their own pockets, while opportunistic criminals looted store shelves dry and tossed Molotov cocktails into the building as they walked away with merchandise that they stole in the name of racial justice, which the media called peaceful protests. Still not enough. People are now losing their jobs, businesses, life savings, homes, cars, as well as loved ones that could have been saved by therapeutics banned by one side of our political system. Another shitstorm brews leading up to, during, and the months after an election that only an absolutely blind, certifiably mentally ill person would consider a fair and free election. Still not enough. Our then president, as well as many people both famous and not, were removed from social media and silenced, banned, blocked, or canceled for expressing their concerns about the legitimacy of the election results. Still not enough. The great $10 billion investment of a vaccine comes in, and those who want it line up like cattle. After seeing the unbelievable hoax bullshit that happened in this country the 18 months prior, they still have some sort of blind faith in this system. Enough so that they let strangers shove needles into their arms filled with a vaccine that doesn't even fit the definition of the word vaccine. Virtually untested by historic protocols, and reports of damages to people from the vaccine are suppressed by every form of media known to mankind. Emergency use authorization is not the same as approval. If a therapeutic were approved for off-label use to treat people sick with the virus, the vaccine loses its authorization status. Now, you know why we never saw an approved therapeutic in this country, while countries like Mexico sell therapeutics at airport newsstands for pennies per dose. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical companies are telling poorer countries to offer their federal buildings and military bases as collateral for shipments of the vaccine. Our own government is paying content creators, aka influencers, on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok $1,300 each to make videos about how excited they are to get the jab, as well as NASCAR drivers nobody cares about and other professional athletes to the tune of $3 billion of taxpayer dollars to promote a vaccine nobody else wants. While our newly minted president consistently makes speeches and appearances that only embarrass this country further, he continues to put this country last in every category. They want to demonize cryptocurrency and make it fall naturally for two reasons. One, lower income people are the ones playing with crypto as an investment, so it's fucking them out of any genuine yields and ultimately works out to where one crypto day trader is just giving another crypto day trader their money. But it also sets up the Fed to release their federal version of crypto so that they can usher in the digital dollar and track every single transaction everyone makes around the world. I feel a regression back to the barter system is in our future. Still not enough. Hedge funds funded by foreign interests are buying up every affordable home, ultimately forcing anyone in this country who was in the market for a home out of any chance of buying a home worth buying. Are these hedge funds playing with our housing market like low-wage earners played with GameStop stonks and joke crypto investments? Buy it all up, drive up the prices, and sell it at an inflated rate, enriching themselves further, while forcing anyone just trying to get a home for their family to reside in to get a home that needs massive amounts of repairs, move into neighborhoods with schools less than desirable, or the more common alternative of buying a home at an inflated rate, effectively pushing the limits of their debt-to-income ratio to limits we saw in 2007 that caused the collapse of the banking industry in 2008. People are borrowing more money than they can afford to pay back to provide a home for themselves. Rent is through the roof, too. Someone that I know has lived in the same apartment for like 12 years. I asked him a few days ago about, the increase in his rent for a 2-bedroom medium pimpin' apartment. And 2 years ago, he said he was paying $780 a month. Same apartment with lease renewal. Now he's paying $1,240, from $780 to $1,240. It's like a 50% increase. Realtors are all too happy to oblige the influx of hedge fund capital. It's the realtors, title companies, and real estate attorneys that are making money hand over fist. Cause and effect? Well, prospective first-time home buyers are literally fucked. I used to chastise people who were in their mid-20s and still living at home with their parents. But now, I understand. I could not imagine working an entry-level job, as most people in their 20s will, and having to afford a mortgage or rent at the current market value. I have a family member that went out of town for 2 weeks for work. They recently came home to an apartment full of mildew and busted sheetrock from a water heater upstairs that maintenance had changed out but didn't bother to check his apartment downstairs for any damages. Trust me, it's a common knowledge thing. It's like elementary apartment maintenance. You have a water pipe or water heater burst upstairs. While you're going over there to answer the report of that busted water heater or busted pipe or leak, you grab the keys to the downstairs apartment as well. It's just common knowledge. Management shows zero fucks given while his belongings become covered with fungi. And their answer is to move the single dehumidifier from the floor to the countertop. Yeah, that's going to solve it. He's going to have to move or live in his moldy apartment with his asthma. His passive nature will get the best of him, and he will end up paying double the rent he is now when he ultimately realizes the only solution is to move. All of this is by design. Our leaders do nothing while these foreign entities put this country into chess moves of check. Pre-COVID, we were all in that center square of the chessboard. And with every move of check, we continue to ignore the unchecked pawns as we steer our king toward the corner. The part most people don't see is it's one hand moving these pieces. Left, right, black, white, mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine. Election fair, election rigged. Trump, fuck Trump. Fox News, CNN. Trump puts kids in cages. Biden paid $12,000 a month for hotel rooms for kids each. Fat women are beautiful. Fat women are unhealthy. Popeyes. Chick-fil-A. Cyberpunk is a great game. Man, fuck Cyberpunk. You're being punked, people. Except Ashton Kutcher isn't coming out from behind the scenes. But it's all good. UFOs, man. Hey, hug your brother. We're united once again. Aliens. Sleight of hand, people. But I'm the crazy one.
Ain't no lie, getting old as a bitch. Gonna spit this game, only way I'll get rich.